that's one of my biggest pet peeves of all time, and this book does that. So bye. Next.
so pretty. This cute little lady here has been adopted as of 3 days ago, officially. Not by us, but by the neighbors. And she is also sterilized as of 3 days ago as well. And she's still recovering, obviously. But no more babies for you, even though you made us very, very happy with those 5. But no more babies for you. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you are watching this video. I hope you are doing well. I just wanted to close out this video with a few words about the month of January and what's ahead, and a little bit of a reading climathon update. Also, if you're hearing destruction noises in the background, that's the kittens. They're having their morning zoomies. Unfortunately, this is the only time I can film this week, so yeah, we will just have to deal with it. Also, if you are noticing that my voice sounds a little bit weird today, it is also because of the kittens, because sometimes my allergy pill doesn't work 100%. Like, most of the times I'm surprisingly fine, even when you like cuddle a lot with the kittens and everything. But sometimes I have a day here and there in between where my allergy pill just doesn't seem to work 100%, and I get like this very nasty cough, and like when I breathe I sound a lot like Darth Vader. And I already have a ginger tea here, but yeah, just in case you're wondering why my voice or my breathing sounds a bit weird. So January was luckily a very calm month. I'm so happy. I hope it was for you too. It was exactly what I needed. It was just a month of like slowing down. Unfortunately, in the very beginning of the month, we lost someone that we knew, which was bizarre and gave me a lot to think. While this person was not super close to me personally, it was still a person that had an impact on my life and someone that I cherished. However, I cannot even imagine what this family went through, especially his grandson, because I know how much he loved him, and it just breaks my heart. And if by any chance anybody of that family or distant family is watching this video, my condolences. It breaks my heart. I'm so sorry. It was a bit of a bizarre experience. It is not the first person here on the island that we've lost and that I've grieved, but this time it was this weird thing of like, okay, we're not super close, but I still liked you a lot, and I'm still super sad that you're gone. And it was also a case of the ocean gives and the ocean takes. Like so many Azorians, this man went out to fishing every day he could, and he really loved it. And just one day he didn't come home from fishing, and it was super weird because, you know, it's Azores, news travels very fast, so we knew very early on that he was missing and that the chances of seeing him again was basically zero. And I stood outside and I watched this military Navy airplane circling the island over and over and over and over again, looking for his body, and they didn't find it as far as I'm aware. And it's so weird. It gives you so much to think about community, grief, family, and just life in general. Of course, there's also beauty and poetry in like the ocean gives and the ocean takes. Like his body is now reunited with the thing he loved most, but still the grief and the hole he leaves behind is very big. And yeah, that was a bit of a thing in the beginning of the month that is like staying with me in my mind for a while. Other than that, luckily again, January was very calm. It was very unspectacular because the weather here in the winter is just, we do have some sunny days in between, but most of the times, like today, it is raining, stormy, gray and dark and cold. So yeah, so that is like most days, and so therefore you spend a lot of time indoors, which I didn't mind because I wanted to get a good start on my reading year. And of course we have the 2 kittens, as you saw. All I do is film and photograph the kittens because they're so cute, and I just never want them to grow up. I feel like they're the perfect size right now. They're so cute, and like they're still small enough that you can pick both of them up, like even with one arm, but like soon they won't be. Like they're growing really, really fast and they're gaining weight really, really fast. And yeah, but there are just, I can see them from here. They're just so adorable. And even when they have their morning zoomies and wreak absolute havoc in the kitchen. Usually at this time of the day, I let them outside so they can play outside, but the weather today is really bad. So while they are supposed to learn that eventually, at the moment they're still too small. Long term, that's going to change, but for now, while they're still so small and while they're also not sterilized and castrated yet, which will happen very soon, they are mostly inside anyway, and when the weather is this bad, like we just gonna let them be inside for now. Enough kittens. If you're not a cat person, I bet you've long left this video. A quick reading update. If you've watched my TBR video, you saw me talk about the wolf book, Women Who Run with the Wolves. This was supposed to be a buddy read with my friend Anya from Well Traveled Books, and we are cursed because we've tried to buddy read so many books at this point, and I didn't like a single one of them, and I DNF'd most of them. And the same happened here. My big problem with this book, actually I have multiple problems with this book, is that it didn't age well. It was written in 1992, a year before I was born, so a long time ago. And I don't think it aged very well, and I really did not enjoy the writing style. I also did not appreciate the lack of sources for anything and everything she says in this book. This book is almost 600 pages in Germany, and I know it's not that much shorter in English. And I don't know, she just like tells these stories. If you didn't know, this is like a book that's like very beloved by a lot of people. And I can see the appeal of it for sure, but it's basically like she tells old tales and stories and looks at them from like a perspective of like the wild woman archetype. Like, what are these stories from the past supposed to tell us about like womanhood and being a woman in this world and all that kind of stuff. And she never tells you really where she has the stories or the versions of the stories that she's telling, and she's constantly like, oh yeah, indigenous group XYZ thinks this means this. But like, where do you have your information from? Like, and like, where are your sources? You know, I don't need a science text at all. I'm very open-minded to spiritual books and even like new age stuff. But like, it was like also like so condescending. Everything was like matter of fact, like, oh yeah, this means exactly this, but it doesn't. That's the whole point of those old tales and like oral history and oral stories and like stories that have been passed down for a very long time, is that you can interpret them however you want, and that there are multiple layers and multiple possibilities in each story what it could potentially mean. That is what they are. And again, there were also like some problematic bits in here and stuff, and I hated the writing style so much. It's so wordy. I feel like this book could have been like maybe 200 pages long and it would have been fine. No, it's 600 pages, so I gave up. I gave up. Then I am about halfway through of The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu, which is a martial arts fantasy book, which I am enjoying. I don't think it's gonna be a favorite by any means, but I am enjoying, and I'm so glad I'm finally getting around to it. Someone kept on crying, so I needed to bring her in because she doesn't like when I'm in the living room talking and not paying attention to her. She's still just a little baby, crying a lot, like she did the first night she came here. And you can't see her, it's impossible to take a picture of her. So we will have to do this one-handed. I'm also reading this book. This is a book all about the soil. I mentioned this in my Climathon TBR, and I'm reading this for the Earth Space. It is very short. I'm about also halfway through. I can't show you because cat. And unfortunately, so far I'm a bit underwhelmed by this book as well. I'm not gonna get into it. This video is way too long already. But I will talk about it eventually. But so far I'm a little bit underwhelmed, unfortunately. And I chose this book because it's very short, which means I can still finish it before I leave for Germany, which brings us to the final point of this video. If you have watched my life update going back to Germany health video that I made a few weeks ago, you already know I need to have surgery, so I'm going back to Germany for a little while to take care of my health. I will be back. I already have my return ticket and everything. However, I will be on a 2 to 3 month hiatus from YouTube until I'm back and until I'm healthy again and I feel okay again. I don't know when I'm gonna be back on YouTube. If you want to support me during this time, or if you want to have any like life updates, I will be posting on my Patreon what's going on, when I'm gonna be back, how the surgery went, all that kind of fun stuff. So all the behind the scenes information is over on Patreon. And by the way, I'm super thankful for every single one of my patrons. I know we are a small group so far, but I'm still super, super grateful. You make this possible. Thank you so, so, so much. Amora says thank you as well. She is falling asleep on my arm, which is not great because I need to go to work. She's getting used to this. This is not good. They're gonna suffer. Like, I'm leaving so soon and I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna miss them so much. And they're gonna suffer because no one's gonna be home all day while I'm gone. That's not good. Don't get used to this, my sweetheart. I will miss you so.